Please be aware, none of the following footage contains work being done on a Land Rover Defender. This is my wife's 2014 1400cc Vauxhall Mokka. We are the second owners of this vehicle, and I know that the first owner looked after it very well. On one of the very rare occasions when I was driving this car, apart from when I have to take it to the fuel station to fill it up for my wife, I noticed that although it was a very dry and warm day, there was vapour coming from the exhaust. When I researched these symptoms on YouTube, I deduced that the cause of the vapour was probably a broken head gasket or something to do with the cylinder head itself, as there is obviously coolant entering the combustion chambers of the engine. Here you can see the mileage on the vehicle is 76,600, and that's not really a lot of mileage considering the vehicle has genuinely had only 2 lady owners. Here you can see the vapour coming from the exhaust. I've taken the vehicle out to get it warm, and I've now stopped along the side of the road just to check to see what is actually happening. And yeah, sure enough, the engine is really warm. I've done about 10-15 miles and still getting vapour, and it's a warm day, dry day, so there is definitely coolant mixing with the fuel. Here I'm lifting the bonnet so that I can check to see if there are any visible signs of what might be happening. The first and obvious indication that there's something untoward is that the coolant level is very low. The next thing I do is remove the oil filler cap to see if there's any discoloration on the underside of it or any foam, but that seems to be okay, just oil coloured really. Here, looking at the coolant reservoir, you can see how low the level really is. The final check I'm going to make is to inspect the dipstick to see if there's any discoloration or foam on the dipstick itself, or in fact if the oil level has risen abnormally high, which in this instance I know it hasn't, because it was only a month ago I changed the oil on this vehicle, and the oil level is exactly what I left it at, so I'm happy about that. So fortunately, early indications are that the problem lies with either the head gasket or the cylinder head. As this type of repair is way above my pay grade and my skill level, and would probably cost a fortune to be done at a dealership, I've decided that I will put an additive into the cooling system that will hopefully seal the damaged head gasket or seal any damage that might be done to the cylinder head, and I'm going to purchase this from Halfords. The additive that I've decided to use is Holt's Total Cooling System Leak Repair, and it does say on the bottle that it stops leaks on all sorts of things: engine, block, cylinder head, radiator hoses. So I'm going to introduce this into the cooling system and give it a go. My wife will use the car as usual, not even aware that it's in this cooling system. She'll drive it to and from work, and I think I'll leave it for a couple of weeks before I check to see if the coolant has actually gone down. I'd expect to see it go down initially, but generally after a while just level off, so I'm not going to monitor it every day. As I said, after 2 weeks I'll check it again, and hopefully this Holtz sealer has done its magic. So I make sure that every little bit of the additive is out of the bottle. I add some coolant with it, give it a good shake. I pour the remaining contents of the bottle into the reservoir and then top the reservoir up with the appropriate coolant. Well, that's about it. I just top the coolant level up and have a bit of a clean up. I'm not always the tidiest of workers, and hopefully the Holtz sealant will be doing its job. Hopefully by 2 weeks' time I'll have some positive results. At this point I'd ask you if you'd consider subscribing. It is free and it gives a lot of incentive to produce more content. Thank you. Now it's time to get on with some real enjoyment, and that's doing stuff to my Land Rover and getting it ready for our next road trip.